A father and son on Saturday leaves one dead and another injured. 58-year-old Thomas Dorsey is charged with first and second-degree murder as well as multiple counts of assault. Now, police say a fight broke out between Dorsey and his son, which led to Dorsey fatally stabbing a third person who is a friend of the son, who was also involved in that altercation. Another person suffered minor cuts, but it's unclear exactly who that person is.
I'm going to tell y'all how I found out. I'm going to tell y'all what really went down. I'm going to tell y'all how it all ended. Jail, it messes with your head. When you're locked up fighting your own case, the outside world starts to feel fake, like it's happening on another planet. The only thing that keeps it real is those phone calls you get. Those 15-minute collect calls where you try to hold your whole life together. I had been talking to my father here and there. Nothing deep, just regular jail talk. He's telling me, stay solid, keep your head up. Then one day, I give him a call, no answer. I call again, nothing. I try again next week, nothing. At first, I thought maybe his phone got cut off or something. Then I started to think maybe he's mad at me for something, some reason. But weeks go by, silence. That's when I had a gut feeling kick in. You know the one. That one feeling that tells you something ain't right. Before anybody says it out loud, I finally get a hold of my mother. Now, my mother and my father, they've been separated since I can remember. As soon as I get on the phone with her, she's sounding different. I asked her straight up, what's going on? Why ain't Dad been answering my phone calls? She don't say nothing for a couple of seconds. That was the kind of pause that stretches too long. Then she just comes out and says it. I just found out he's been locked up. As soon as I heard that, I sat straight up. I asked her, locked up? Where? She telling me he in there with your ass somewheres. I swear my heart dropped right through the floor. I asked her, why he locked up? What'd he do? She telling me murder. After she said that, everything went quiet. It didn't even feel real. It was like she was telling me about somebody else. That's what it felt like. So I asked her, what happened? She tells me, I don't know all the details. They saying he stabbed your brother's friend. I started thinking to myself, my brother's friend? I already knew what that meant. You see, my brother wasn't just hanging around no random dudes. He was a blood, and he was heavy into it. That was his circle. That's all he hung around. So when my mother told me his friend, I already knew what that meant. In jail, information moved faster than the guards. I had pulled some strings. I sent a kite to one of the kitchen workers. I asked around. I found out where my father was kept, what housing unit. A couple of days later, it's chow time. Doors popping. Trays sliding. One of the working men looks at me. He asked, you crime? I said, yeah. He slides me a folded piece of paper, a kite, under my tray. He tells me, it's from your father. I take the kite like it's nothing. I walk back to my cell, calm. I put the tray down. Then I just sat at the edge of my bunk and I just unfolded. The kite was short, straight to it. Yeah, I definitely know this is from him. That's definitely how he is. He wrote, me and your brother got into it. We got to arguing. I told him if he didn't want to follow the rules, he could leave. He left, but he came back with some homies. They tried to jump me. Your brother had a chair coming at me. The other one had a belt swinging it. I pulled my blade and I defended myself. I heard that you was the man over there. Send me some commissary. I'm hurting. I know you eating good over there. I had to read that kite twice. My father, he's not a man who backs down. Never has been. I remember being a kid, coming home crying at the age of like 5 or 6. One time when I was young, because another kid got the best of me. This is what he did. He told me to wipe my face off and go back outside to handle that. It's your problem. Handle that. That's what he always used to tell me. That's who he was. He raised me on one rule. Don't let nobody run over you. And now I'm sitting in a cell reading about him stabbing somebody to try to jump him in his own house. And the crazy part about it, I can see it happening just like that. My brother, he always had that reckless energy. He always into something. Back when I was on the outside, he used to come to me talking wild, reckless, on that drilling type timing, always ready to smoke something. Me, I'm not innocent. I did what I did, but I ain't out here trying to hurt people just because I can. He run with the blood, so I ain't even got to try to guess. I know it's one of his homies. I send word through the grapevine. I tell the Crips on his pod the situation, and they need to look after him. I don't want this going any farther than what it has to. Thankfully, it never got that far. We never had a problem with any other blood while this was going on. I don't know if they just didn't hear about it. I'm not gonna lie. If I was there while that situation was going on, I would have stood next to my father. That's just what it is. But I wasn't there. My ass was in a cell, fighting my own case, wondering if I was gonna lose my father to the same system that I'm trapped in. That part right there, it messed with me the most. At the end of the day, I could handle my charges. I couldn't picture him getting life. Time, it moves weird in jail. Months later, I get transferred to the prison. My pop's still in jail, fighting that case, going to trial. Years start stacking up. One day, I'm talking to a family member. He tell me something that really messed me up. He tell me my dad's trial started. It had my brother taking the stand. Yeah, my brother testified against my father. You can't make this stuff up. When I heard that, I just sat there in the cell staring at the wall. I couldn't even process it all at first. This wasn't just some random witness. It wasn't a neighbor. This was his son, my brother. I'm thinking, how did he even get this far? From an argument to somebody being dead, now until your own son pointing a finger at you in court. He told me on the phone, my brother was up there painting it like my dad had just snapped. Like he wasn't in danger. Like it wasn't self-defense. But here's the thing about that though. My dad's lawyer, he ain't no rookie. Grandma spent a lot of money on him. He started breaking it down piece by piece. Statements not matching up. Timelines shifting. Details kept changing. Every time my brother talked, something didn't line up with the evidence. A lawyer caught him in multiple lies. And that's when I started to get hope. This case might not go the way I thought it would. My dad might actually beat this. But still, hearing that my own brother testified against him, that's some crazy work. That right there is not gang policies at all. A couple days later, I call my mom. She tells me he beat it. He got acquitted. Charges dropped. I'm happy as hell at that point. A couple days later, I get my dad on the phone. He tells me everything that happened. Just like I thought. Arguments, pride. My brother leaves, grabs his blood homie. Then they come back heated. Everything escalates. They had weapons in hand. He tells me he didn't want it to go that far. But once they rushed him, he reacted. And one decision, it changed everything. When I finally got out of prison, and I was a free man, I typed his name in Google and put Hagerstown stabbing. I automatically seen all the headlines. That's when it really hit me. This wasn't just no family drama. This was an actual news story. This was real life. It's all public information. It's on the web. When my father had stabbed him, he punctured his heart muscle and it caused him to bleed out. I haven't seen my brother in years since hearing about this. My father doesn't speak to my brother to this day. Family is precious. Sometimes I wonder if I wasn't locked up and I was out there, maybe this situation wouldn't even have happened. And that's one of the things about going to jail. You're not there to protect the ones you love. That should be more than enough motivation to keep you guys out of jail. But that's all I got for that story. I'm Crime, and until next time, y'all stay free.
Speed bump.